Hey guys, Rob here from Game Life Balance Australia. We're going to play some Oregon Trail today. Oregon Trail is an educational game, but don't worry, it's actually pretty fun. I understand this game was very commonly found in schools in America in the 1980s, and the reason for that was that it teaches kids about history. Primarily about 19th century history, the story of settlers travelling to the west from the great cities of the east coast of America in search of greener pastures and the hope for a better life. It is a hardcore simulation game, so if you're not a fan of sims and if you're not a fan of difficult games, then you may not be interested in this one. It does feature mechanics like you need to eat and drink, you may fall prey to diseases, you need to be careful about crossing rivers, your wagon can take damage during river crossings, you have to hunt occasionally to get food, you have to sometimes gather berries and mushrooms and things like that on your way to sustain your travellers on their journey. So it is quite a brutal simulation, but I think that was the idea. It was trying to teach kids the harsh realities of life on the frontier. So look, hopefully you'll learn something today. I must admit, I'm not an expert in American history. I am, after all, an Australian. Most of my American history has been pieced together from watching a lot of episodes of The Simpsons, together with my passion for historical epics like Mel Gibson's Maverick.
Let's go adventure.
Between 1830 and 1870, nearly 500,000 Americans migrated west over wagon trails. It's a lot of Americans. So you can actually randomize your party if you like. I like a good mix of genders and ethnicities, so let's see here. This looks like a likely bunch. We've got William, Pamela and Mark. Travel in their trusty wagon. I'll just pick the standard wagon. They set off into the forest. Here we are, moving to the west. Ooh, some animals up ahead. So what we should do is hunt them and collect their bodies. You'll find that in the wagon, in Oregon Trail, you run out of food, and that's not a good situation. So I'm just going to use that plane to napalm the animals and collect their corpses. Napalm was a really useful invention in the 19th century. Very helpful for clearing your path through the wildlife, through the wilderness. So here we are, dealing with some bandits. Banditry was quite common on the Oregon Trail. It's basically caused by the drug epidemic. They were all on crystal meth, to be honest. It's a real problem. Even today, the crystal meth problem has not gone away. Here we are. There's a machine gun armed wagon. You know, some people might tell you that machine guns weren't invented in the 19th century, but those people are idiots. I wouldn't trust them. William left the wagon and found some edible mushrooms. Fantastic. So as I said, sometimes you have to leave the wagon and I guess search around for some supplies. William ate one of the mushrooms on the way back. He felt funny. Oh dear. Looks like he's ate one of them wacky mushrooms. One of them magical mushrooms, if you like. If you're at home and you're interested in picking mushrooms and eating them, my advice to you is, if you see a mushroom that looks a bit sus, a little bit suspicious out in the wild, just eat it. Just pick it up and eat it without any hesitation. Painful memories, oh dear. Looks like he's dealing with some skeletons in the closet, if you know what I mean. Nice. I don't think these painful memories are going to cause me much problem. Got my trusty 6-shooter. Hours later, William returns to reality. Oh, fantastic. I've unlocked an invisible wagon. Invisible wagons were really helpful to settlers in the 19th century. If your wagon is invisible, then the Native Americans won't find you and steal your precious, precious jewels. Now we have a choice here. We can ford the river or we can jump it. Now, Generally speaking, I'm a big fan of Henry Ford, who, of course, everyone knows, invented the Model T wagon in 1868, I do believe. But in this case, I'm going to choose not to support an anti-Semite and jump the river. Got a running start and leapt on the top of a ledge. Well, that's obviously the right way to do it. Ooh, a gust of air pulled them up into low Earth orbit. Wow. Yeah, sometimes in the 19th century, you'd find yourself in low Earth orbit. Nothing to worry about it. It's really just something that you have to deal with. It's one of the realities of life on the Oregon Trail, really. Asteroids can be a problem, but if you have sufficient ammunition in your pistol, what you'll find is that most asteroids pose more of an annoyance than a threat. Oh dear. Now, we're gonna have to shoot down Mir, or perhaps the ISS. I can't tell. There we go. Oh, we fell out of orbit. That's a shame. It was fun while it lasted. Landed in the same river they jumped over days before. Oh, fantastic. I've unlocked a space shuttle wagon. Space shuttle wagons were quite commonplace, actually. It may seem strange to the modern sensibilities, but what you may not understand is that space shuttles are actually one of the most ancient forms of transport. And from what I've read on Wikipedia, the Babylonians invented space shuttles in response to a problem they had with smelly cheese. The cheese was too smelly. And, of course, what do you do when you have smelly cheese? Well, you build a space shuttle, don't you? Duh. Now, if we can just collect enough corpses... Oh dear, a buffalo smashed into William, causing massive internal bleeding. Yes, it's an unfortunate reality of 19th century life that doctors were hard to come by, and most of them practiced Scientology, which is like science, but not as good. And yeah, there were a lot of unfortunate deaths caused by buffaloes, which is why the Americans wiped them out. And you know, personally, I don't disagree with that. I think buffaloes deserve to die. Good riddance to bad rubbish, basically. I take great pleasure in shooting these buffaloes. Oxen recovered from rabies. Oh, thank goodness. So like I said, there are diseases to deal with. Rabies, scurvy, chlamydia. The fur trader offered to trade them a larger caliber pistol. Oh, I'll definitely take that. Fantastic. Ooh. Distant gunshots, eh? Now that could be a number of things. Could be an engine raid. It could be World War III, which I understand took place around about 1830. It could also be a rally of rabid wombats armed with pitchforks and blunderbusses. Rabid wombats armed with pitchforks and blunderbusses were a real problem for settlers on the Oregon Trail. Let's investigate. Of course we're going to investigate. Bank being robbed by bandits. Oh dear. Pamela had to carefully shoot the armed bandits fleeing the bank without hitting. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I get the idea here. We need to shoot the bandits, not the civilians. Looks like we've shot a few civilians, but the rest are shooting innocent bystander taken to jail. Oh dear. Right, well, it looks like it's just Mark. Day 100 marks that on the pistol and accidentally bent the barrel. Oh, for God's sake, Mark. The front wheel of the wagon fell off. The wagon was stuck. You know, this is again one of those realities of life on a wagon trail. Sometimes you have to fetch the wagon wheels. Ah, ghosts. Yeah, ghosts were a real problem in the 19th century, especially in America. The home of ghosts. Ah, great, I've got an AK-47. This should really help out. AK-47, of course, invented in 1747 by Arnold, I'm going to say Knightley? Yeah, that works. I've only got 5 bullets left, but that should be fine. Mark reached another river. This one was too deep. I can't ford it. Mark had the brilliant idea to swim underwater through the river. Go around it through a desert path. I think we're going to try swimming. I only got 1 health left, but I'm sure this will work out just fine. Mark accidentally dropped the pistol on a rock, bending the barrel. Oh, for God's sake, Mark! Mark faced deadly piranhas. Oh, God, this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well. Piranha ate Mark alive until he was dead. The party's journey ended there in a swarm of blood and fish. Well, there you have it. Life on the Oregon Trail was brutal, often short, but always a fun time and a bit of a laugh. So I hope you've learned something today about American history. I certainly have. And I hope you've enjoyed watching me play Oregon Trail. Do like, share and subscribe. Retweet. Hashtag Oregon Trail. Thumbs up. Pinterest. And dig? Later, guys.